Greetings, students of audio-video technology. There's nothing like sub-zero temperatures in the morning to get your heart pumping. I don't know if you can see my breath right now, but it is pretty chilly. But that's okay, because you are watching from the comfort of your mobile device or your desktop computer or media streaming device. I have no idea how you're watching this video, how you choose to take in YouTube videos, but I can tell you this. We will be talking about audio tie lines in this short little edition of the Volunteer Tech Vlog. What is an audio tie line? So what am I talking about here? So in different situations out in the world, you might be in a broadcast studio, a recording studio, a function hall, like where there's a wedding or a wedding reception. You might be in a concert hall or some sort of like amphitheater. They typically have what are called tie lines, and I'm talking about audio tie lines, but there can also be video tie lines, especially in the broadcast world, where you've got a lot of cameramen stationed around certain playing fields, perhaps. Maybe you're familiar with this thing called the NFL. Stadiums have different tie lines built in there, but more often than not, the broadcast companies that are contracted to go out there with their mobile trucks, they'll bring their own lines and just run miles and miles of cable around the stadium. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Tie lines. It's a term that you may hear. And basically, if we think about audio tie lines, we're talking about maybe an XLR wall plate. So you'll see like a little 1-gang or 2-gang wall plate that is, just a typical receptacle height, or about 18 inches above the finished floor. And maybe there'll be a whole slew of these things. You might have, 24 tie lines from one area, and what's happening is you might just have 2, or you might have 4. Quantities can vary, but basically it is a physical input that is installed within the wall. So you can plug in an XLR cable, maybe for like a microphone, into a wall plate, and then that wall plate is gonna have a cable that is run through the walls all the way back to like a head end somewhere, or like a central location, maybe a rack closet, maybe a front of house mix position. Basically a very similar situation to a analog audio snake. Probably are familiar with a snake, or a multi-channel bundle of many audio signals that are routed back and forth over long distances in an audio snake. I guess maybe I shouldn't assume that you know what an audio snake is, because you might not, but we'll talk about that in another video. Audio tie lines definitely relates to that, and I think in my next video I'll show you some real examples of audio tie lines, since I'm going to be over at the church setting up for Hollywood game night, and I'm going to be purposing some old audio tie lines that haven't been used in a while, so I'm going to test them out, A, see if they work, and B, I'm going to patch them back into active channels on our mixing system. So, audio tie lines. Anything else I forgot? I'm trying to think if I forgot anything else I need to mention about audio tie lines. Yeah, they're basically, they're just audio cable. It could be a microphone, type cable, or a mono, audio signal cable. They could be stereo. It depends on the type of tie line, but typically it's mono. It's an XLR balanced audio cable, and there'll be, an XLR male input at a wall plate, and then that's going to report back. The cable's going to go permanently be installed in the walls somewhere, go a long distance, and then come out somewhere else at a convenient location that generally could, plug into a mixer, something like that. So I'll be utilizing tie lines this weekend. Figured I'd make a little video about what an audio tie line is, and where would you find these things. I think I mentioned broadcast, so let me give you another example of where you might find a tie line. So I live not too far away from Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the New England Patriots play football, and they play at Gillette Stadium. But all around Gillette Stadium there is a mall, basically a shopping mall called Patriot Place. and pretty bright idea from Mr. Kraft to make his property earn even more money throughout the year and during the off season. So he's got this big shopping mall around there. One of the stores is called CBS. I shouldn't say it's a store. I guess there's a gift shop in the. I think there's a gift shop in the basement. But anyway, it's a restaurant. It's called the CBS Scene, and it's basically a sports bar, right? And when I say sports bar, there's TVs at every single table, and there's like a little keypad with a control panel at every single table, so you can change the TV station, watch whatever you want to watch. There's curved projection screens with multiple projectors all blended together, edge blended together. A lot of cool stuff. I actually worked for the company that installed that system years ago when it was being built, so I got to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, how it comes together, how it works. So but that's a CBS Scene. But one of the things that we installed there, I can't remember if we installed, pretty sure we installed it, or we at least accounted for it in our drawings, in our system drawings when we were doing it. One of the things was Tielines for broadcast, because it is called the CBS Scene. It's related to CBS, the whole broadcasting network, and there's some strategic locations around that restaurant, like up on the 3rd floor, I think down in the basement, where there's Tielines, where they have XLR Tielines that go from the first floor all the way down to the basement, and then from the basement back up, and there's video Tielines. I believe they were using like SDI or HD SDI for like their cameraman, so that they could send a cameraman on up with a big camera on his shoulder, and he could camp out up on the 3rd floor, just bring like a short little patch cable, and just go like maybe 10-15 footer to the well, it probably more like 25-50 footer, but anyway, they got a patch cable that goes from the camera sitting on the cameraman's shoulder into this tie line, and that tie line takes the signal all the way down to the basement, and then the broadcast truck, which is parked outside, will plug into the tie line in the basement, so the camera can be connected without having to run cable all the way down the stairs and through this restaurant without disturbing any of the patrons. So anyway, that's a real life example of another real life example of a audio tie line or video tie line. I hope you have found this video helpful, and I'd like to hear from you. How do you use tie lines in your everyday work or volunteer work or whatever you do? Let me know. Let me know how you make use of tie lines. And if you have not already, I would appreciate you subscribing to the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel so that you can get more videos like this for the Volunteer Tech Vlog. My name is Nate. Thanks for watching.